Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to break down complex ideas and find the actionable bits you can actually use. Today, we're tackling a giant. Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, probably one of the most influential self-help books ever. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's crucial to see it's not just about getting rich. It's really a philosophy of achievement. Hill spent something like 20 years studying over 500 super successful people, think Andrew Carnegie, who actually kicked the whole project off. The idea was to map out a path to success in, well, pretty much anything, as long as you know what you want.
Right. It's like he tried to find the secret formula,
Yeah.
the mental steps, the practical actions, how to turn a wish into reality. So our mission today, let's pull out that formula. Let's find the core steps.
Okay, so if we're talking about building wealth or achieving anything big, really, where does Hill say it all begins? Not with money, right?
No, not at all. It starts purely in the mind, with thought, riches, success.
Yeah.
They have to be conceived as an idea first. But, and this is key, it can't be a fuzzy, oh, I wish I had more money kind of thing.
It's more specific than that.
Yeah.
Way more specific. He calls it the first step, cultivating an intense, burning desire for something definite. He talks about it like mental chemistry. Sounds a bit out there, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. What does that actually mean, though? Mental chemistry.
Well, think of it like focused emotional energy.
Mm-hmm.
If the desire is super clear, super intense, it sort of creates this unstoppable drive. It pushes you to act, to figure things out, overcome setbacks. It's what separates, the serious players from the dabblers.
Okay, I get that. Like the Edwin C. Barnes story he starts with, that guy didn't just want a job with Edison.
Exactly. He wanted to work with Edison. That was his definite aim. Showed up broke, no connection, willing to do anything. But he kept that specific goal in mind for years.
For years, right. And then the opportunity finally came up that only he was really ready for because he'd been focused on it.
Precisely. Everyone else saw a lucky break. Hill saw years of sustained, definite desire finally paying off.
It really hammers home the power of being specific and just sticking with it. Like that anecdote about the little kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Demanding the 50 cents.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one. The uncle's yelling, trying to scare her off. Even grabs a stick, I think.
Yeah. But the kid just keeps repeating, my mammy's got to have that 50 cents. Totally definite. Yeah. Wouldn't budge.
And eventually the uncle just gives in. That kind of weird, irresistible force of pure, focused desire. That's what the book says you can learn to harness.
Okay, so you've got this burning desire. What's next? How do you make it stick?
Then you move into what Hill calls the workshop of the mind. Basically, training your subconscious. See, the subconscious is always working, always listening. He pictures it like a fertile garden spot.
A garden, okay.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you don't consciously plant the seeds you want positive thoughts, your goals, then weeds will just grow automatically.
Weeds being negative thoughts, fears, doubts.
Exactly. They'll take over if you let them. So you have to be the gardener.
So how do you plant the right seeds? He talks about autosuggestion, right?
Right. That's the tool. Autosuggestion is how you communicate your definite desire, your plan, directly to that subconscious part of your mind. The goal is to make your subconscious believe you're going to succeed, that you deserve it.
And there's a specific technique for this, isn't there? It's almost like a ritual.
It really is. You write down your plan, exactly what you want, like a specific amount of money or service rendered, and by when, a definite date.
Write it down. Okay.
Then you read it out loud twice a day, first thing in the morning, last thing at night. And while you're reading it, you visualize having already achieved it. Feel it. Constant repetition is crucial.
So it's the repetition plus the visualization, plus the emotion. That seems important.
Absolutely critical. Hill says the subconscious translates any thought impulse that's handed over with emotion or strong feeling into its physical equivalent. He singles out faith, love, and sex as the most powerful positive emotions to fuel your thoughts.
But, and there's always a but, isn't there?
Yeah. Here's the scary part. The subconscious isn't judgmental. It doesn't care if the thought is good or bad, helpful or harmful. It will translate negative, destructive thoughts just as readily, just as effectively, if they're charged with strong emotion, like fear.
Right, which explains that really chilling story about Joseph Grant, the bank guy.
Yeah, the guy who lost money gambling, got overwhelmed by shame and fear.
And just kept repeating, this will kill me. I can't stand the disgrace.
Until, well, it did. Hill calls it mental suicide, driven purely by negative autosuggestion, essentially.
Wow. Okay, so the big takeaway here is be careful what you repeat to yourself.
Pretty much. You literally program yourself. You come to believe whatever you tell yourself over and over, whether it's true or false. Focus on fear, you get fear. Focus on success.
You tilt the odds in your favor. Okay. So, mental foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Check. Desire, belief. But you need action, right? You need to actually do something.
Definitely. You need power. And that starts with organized effort. Hill's big concept here is the mastermind principle.
Mastermind. Sounds impressive.
The idea is simple, really. Power comes from organized knowledge. And no single person, no matter how smart, has all the knowledge, experience, and ability they need for huge success.
So you need a team, allies.
Exactly. An alliance of people working together in harmony, giving advice, counsel, cooperation.
But it's more than just hiring smart people, isn't it? He talks about harmony and this psychic element.
Yeah, that phrase always raises eyebrows. A third invisible, intangible force.
That's a bit mystical.
It does, but you could translate it today as like synergy. When a team really clicks, when they're aligned and trust each other. The group intelligence, the creative energy, it's way more than just the sum of the parts.
Okay, that makes sense. Like a really high-performing team. No friction, just flow.
Right. It's about shared purpose, maybe emotional alignment too. Think of Carnegie crediting his whole fortune to his group of 50 advisors.
Or Henry Ford, whose success really took off after he teamed up with Edison and Burbank and others.
It shows that massive achievement usually comes from well-organized cooperation, not lone geniuses.
Okay, so mastermind gives you the collective power. What's the next action step?
Decision. Making decisions. Sounds simple, but Hill found lack of decision was one of the absolute biggest causes of failure, near the top of his list of 30.
That rings true today. Analysis paralysis, right? Scared to commit.
Totally. Successful people, according to Hill's research, make decisions quickly, and then they change them slowly, if at all.
Quickly. Interesting. Why quickly?
Because indecision breeds doubt, and doubt breeds fear. He also warns against letting too many other people influence your decision. Keep your own counsel. Trust your definite plan.
He connects indecision directly to fear then.
Calls it the seedling of fear. Let it grow, and it hardens into doubt, which stops you dead.
Makes sense. He even uses the founding of the U.S. as an example, right? Adams and Hancock making that incredibly risky, fast decision to push for independence.
Exactly. A huge decision, life or death stakes, but they didn't waver. They decided.
Which flows right into the next big action principle, persistence. Because once you decide and act, you will hit obstacles.
Oh, guaranteed. And Hill is emphatic. There is no substitute for persistence. None.
Temporary defeat isn't failure.
It's just a signal. A signal that your plan needs adjusting, not that your goal is wrong. You rebuild, you adapt, you keep going.
That famous line, a quitter never wins, a winner never quits.
It sounds cliche, but the examples are powerful. W.C. Fields broke in his 60s after the Depression, basically starting over in movies by offering to work for free. Just refusing to quit.
Or Fannie Hurst getting rejected, what, 36 times?
36 times. From the same publisher, before they finally publish her. That's persistence.
Wow.
Hill believed that kind of persistence creates its own momentum. It's a state of mind that somehow attracts. He calls it an irresistible power to help those who just keep fighting.
Okay, so we've got the mindset, the team, the decision, the persistence. Let's get practical. Most people need to, earn a living. Marketing personal services.
Right, and here Hill makes a really interesting point about knowledge.
Not all knowledge is equal.
Sort of. He says specialized knowledge is what counts. General knowledge, like just having a degree, is common. You can hire knowledgeable people relatively cheaply.
Look at university payrolls, he says.
Exactly. Knowledge itself isn't valuable unless it's organized and applied towards a definite goal.
He uses Edison and Ford as prime examples again, right?
Right.
Very little formal schooling between them.
Right. Edison, 3 months. Ford, less than 6th grade. Their success came from acquiring the specific, specialized knowledge they needed for their aims and then applying it relentlessly.
So for listeners today, maybe having that degree is just the start. You need to develop and apply deep knowledge in your field.
That's the idea. And when it comes to actually marketing yourself, getting a job or clients, he pushes back against starting at the absolute bottom.
Really? Why is that? Isn't that the traditional advice?
He argues it kills ambition. The view from the very bottom is often just discouraging. No opportunity in sight. He suggests aiming to start a step or two above the bottom. Get a bit of perspective. Start looking around, observing how things work. Build the habit of seeking opportunity.
Interesting. And for really landing those top jobs or clients, he talks about preparing a brief.
The personal service brief?
Yeah.
Think of it like a supercharged resume or portfolio today. A tailored pitch deck about you.
What goes in it?
Your education, sure, experience, references.
Yeah.
But the absolute crucial part, demonstrating your knowledge of your prospective employer's business.
So doing your homework, deep homework.
Deep homework, showing them you understand their problems and you have specific ideas, using your specialized knowledge on how you can help solve them or bring value. It requires research, imagination.
That makes total sense. It shifts from here's what I've done to here's what I can do for you.
Exactly. He tells a story about a mother who prepared a brief like this for her son, got him a job that essentially skipped him 10 years up the ladder compared to starting at the bottom. Shows the power of targeted preparation.
Okay, so all these principles, desire, faith, mastermind, decision, persistence, planning, they sound great. But what's the big thing that trips people up?
One main culprit, according to Hill, fear.
Fear, the ultimate obstacle.
And remember, we said indecision is the seedling of fear. Well, fear eventually crystallizes into doubt, and it paralyzes everything.
He lists those 6 basic fears, doesn't he? The ghosts of the mind.
Yeah. Poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. Pretty comprehensive list of human anxieties.
The fear of criticism seems especially relevant to what we've discussed. How does that play out?
Oh, it's huge. It's the fear of what will people think? It makes people hesitate on decisions, listen to discouraging friends or relatives instead of their own definite purpose. People make bad choices in jobs, in relationships, hold themselves back, all because they're afraid of being criticized or looking foolish. Hill says sometimes it's even stronger than the desire for success.
Wow. That's a sobering thought. Social pressure is powerful.
Incredibly.
So is there an antidote? He mentions Forenza and worryitis. Catchy names.
Yeah. The antidote, he claims, the only known cure for these mental diseases is the habit of prompt and firm decision.
Back to decision again.
Back to decision. He argues that worry and fear thrive in the vacuum of indecision. The moment you make a clear choice and start taking definite action, the worry tends to evaporate. You're focused on doing, not dreading.
Which loops back perfectly to the mind, doesn't it? Controlling your thoughts.
Absolutely, because you have ultimate control over what reaches your subconscious. You control the inputs through your senses.
You're the gatekeeper.
You are. If you don't actively filter out the negativity, the fear-mongering, the doubts, if you don't consciously feed your mind with positive thoughts of desire, then those weeds just take root and grow.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this up, synthesize it. We've got definite desire, faith built through autosuggestion, the power of the mastermind, quick decision, relentless persistence.
And underpinning it all is a really stark distinction Hill makes about, well, economics, I guess. He says riches are shy. They have to be attracted deliberately, with carefully made plans.
Whereas poverty
Needs no plan. It's bold. It's ruthless. It will rush in and take over automatically if you leave space for it through indecision and lack of planning.
That's quite the image.
Right.
Riches must be courted. Poverty just barges in.
Pretty much sums it up.
All right, one final thought to leave people with. We talked about Henry Ford. Hill uses him to dismantle that common excuse, I never had a chance, given his background.
Yeah, Ford had little education, humble beginnings. He created his chance through desire, planning, persistence. He didn't wait for one.
And the book makes this really blunt point about the difference between Ford and his thousands of employees.
It's stark, isn't it? Ford has a mind and controls it. The others have minds, which they do not try to control. It wasn't about innate genius. It was about mental discipline and control.
So after exploring all this, the power of desire, belief, decision, and controlling your own mind, the question for you listening right now is, what is the one thing you will choose to control starting today?